Hello everybody, my name is X Factor, also known as Captain Manflu. Welcome back to some Battlefield 4, playing some Paracel Storm. I'm going to be talking about some of my thought processes in this video, why I do what I do, and usually off the bat, you got to recognize whether you want an extra attack boat potentially at A, or do you want the gyrocopter at E. Maybe potentially you can get both. And the biggest thing is make sure you stay on burn, which I mess up there. The nice thing about one of the latest patches in Battlefield is it actually shows you the burn radius. So it's important to drive people off the burn and simply fight on the burn. A lot of times if you're a single engineer with an RPG law or a SRAW and a tank, LAV, or attack boat is rolling up, it's amazing what happens when you give them a dink or two. They might simply back up, right? That delays their push, and then hopefully you have teammates that spawn in. So here's an example of some of the tough choices you have to make while playing Paracel Storm. The transitions between flags can be very tough, especially the way the current attack boat works. Mobility hits, critical hits can be the death, because then the damage chain starts coming because there's not a lot of spots to break your line of sight. So we're actually going to start talking about kiting on E. There's actually going to be this big piece where we kite a bunch of people on the carrier. It's the only way to let the attack boat live on this side of the map. Now, when the storm does come in, the waves can help you, but don't plan on that because it's really hit or miss. So here's another example of getting on flag, and when you have a battle boat, an attack boat, just realize how many people deep are you rolling. That's pretty filthy tow missile hit right there. So that's 3 people I can put on a flag. Another thing you need to know is if you don't have infantry support, that guy just pushed us over the burn. So we've got 3 in the boat, 1 on shore at least. That means they have 3 or less here. Now, if that flag goes equal, they've got 4, right? Or they've got more if it starts going back their way. And remember, try not to stand still too often. It's just going to get the guys in the back of the boat sniped or RPG'd off. Always try to do a back and forth motion. But the other thing is to know when to get out of dodge with a piece of armor. Live to fight another day. You can do all the killing in the world, but if you're not gaining that flag, if you're not gaining ground, you don't have infantry support coming, you're just going to get killed, and that's going to reset the timer on your vehicle. That means another minute and a half without that piece of armor or air on the battlefield, which is usually the deciding factor in a lot of these pushes. Another thing when you have a rib or attack boat is you can get from point A to point B, or any flag on the map, extremely quickly. So a lot of times when we stream and we play some pubs, we see these attack boats or tanks in the middle of nowhere in the hills just trying to snipe with their primary shot or their HMG. Sure, they might get 5 or 6 kills, but how many flags did they cap? How many flags did they defend? How many pushes did they deter? Right? How many people did they stop in their tracks and make run another direction? So when you're playing Paracel Storm or any conquest map where there's vehicles that are bound to flags, you have to realize, do you have 3 attack boats up? Right now, they've got A. That could be very problematic for us. And I'm trying to take a look at the big map to see if anything's spotted out. And most importantly, what we have up right now. And don't forget, you can still shoot the TV missile, kill it, oftentimes killing the pilot. It's another thing the burst is really good for. I know you guys are going to ask me, hey, X-Factor, what's your setup? This is kind of my anti-air setup, as I missed my bend there. The burst 25s, which isn't great against attack boats. It's horrible against infantry. Yeah, you can one burst infantry, but there goes a bunch of your ammo if you pull the trigger twice. That's half your salvo, half your mag right there. So here we are getting back on flag again. Get that TV missile, lead it a little bit. Remember, it comes off the back of your boat. Another tip for you guys that I've talked about before is try to hit the back end with the TV missile, because there's mad splash damage when it comes to infantry and TV missiles, and sometimes you can get a 1 or 2 bang depending on your TV missile placement. But realize when you swing around the back of your boat, which sometimes you can't not do, you're probably going to get your repair guy, so hats off to Bong Squad who's repairing me now, and the gunners just basically shot off. So here's another transitional spot. Do I or don't I shoot? The closer you are to land, the easier it is to dodge some of these locks and RPGs, SRAWs, and SMAWs that are coming your way. And here we see the magic of the mini-map, everybody being lit up. We're winning this burn, whether it's because the helicopter came in, dropped a guy off on the roof, so that's something you always have to juggle. Are we winning this burn? If I kill another guy, will we win this burn? But you don't want to stick around too long. So here we are back at A. Still don't have A. It's always nice to have 3 attack boats, because no matter the setup, it's still putting pressure on the bad guys. Maybe they're forced to go engineer. Maybe they have a rocket on their shoulder and an infantry just rushes them with the pistol or their basic LMG or assault rifle and gets the kill. So it's always nice when you have a pretty good harmony on infantry side, because they can really take advantage if that armor is basically distracted, which is also nice. So here's another transitional TV missile. Get a little dink on the back end, ended up destroying it. The only reason I shot that there is because we had C and B. So a lot of times where I fire my TV missiles from, if I think I've got about 5 seconds of safety, depends on what's going on. Now, did we have E there? No. Is this about to be the absolute shit show of the century and I have to kite like back in my World of Warcraft days? Absolutely. Time to chain fear and slow everybody. So here, Blanc Squad's keeping us alive. One of the gunners is doing their job. Down to 35. Got to reload. And this is where burst gets you in trouble. It's great against the air, but again, it gets chewed up against infantry. And here you see me trying to pop smoke and kite as much as possible, taking these corners and hugging the carrier. And that's the key. Make them rush these angles, but don't stay here too long. Get your health up and get out, because if you sit here, everybody's going to run towards you. But what happens if you switch from one side to the other, and there you see a full salve, which is to get 1 kill. If you rush from one side to the other, it's going to be the trickle effect. And here you see me trying to make a hard turn right now because the storm is a brewing. And we're going to switch it up. We're actually going to go back. So you actually drag them from one side of the carrier to the other, but be very careful. Don't sit there too long because C4 could get dropped on your head. So the goal is to go back and forth, maybe stall on one of these high positions like this where you do have some cover, and then work the other side. Just realize the high side of the carrier that I came from is a little bit more friendly to cover unless the storm is brewing. And there you see me pop my smoke again. Dodge a lock, back up to 100 health, and away we go. So this is kind of the thought process here. Hug the carrier, go back and forth. The entire time we're on burn. Remember, I've got 4 in my battle boat. 1's dead on the carrier. The longer you can stay here, the more it helps your team hopefully put pressure on the other flags. If you can keep 8 to 10 guys from the enemy team entertained on this flag, hopefully they have the ability to take a couple flags where their enemy team is simply going to be lighter and not as strong. And to my fear, this is basically an instant vehicle spawn, which is absolutely the worst when it comes to vehicle cooldowns, because essentially the second you kill them, if it's a vehicle bearing flag, they spawn back. They've got full cooldowns, full health, and more than likely you're recovering your health and your cooldown. So we're going to make one last push to A here. Try to cap this as we kill the attack boat. And the one thing you might notice when I play Paracel Storm is I usually stay on this side of the map. 1, stay away from all the locks. Stay away from their attack boats and spawn that can TV missile you or tow you from afar. And most importantly, you can get 3 of the flags from this side of the map. Can you get B? No, but you can have infantry jump off. You can get A, C, and E, and that's enough to put the ticket bleed in your favor. Remember, it's always about controlling the majority of the flags in Conquest. It's not about killing as much as you can, because it's almost impossible to outkill the ticket bleed if you're down a flag. I think I've only seen it happen one time, and it was the end of a match, and there's only like 50 tickets left. So hopefully, guys, enjoyed this Paracel Storm Captain Man Flu gameplay. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you want more gameplay like this with commentary, let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to throw up a like on the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon.